This year I blind bought only 4 bottles. I think that's a record for me. Over the years, I've done a lot less blind buying of bottles for a couple of reasons. And I know I'm a hypocrite because generally my advice to everyone is to not blind buy, but sometimes it can't be avoided. I think one of the reasons why I've blind bought less this year is because we're getting more and more stuff that was previously harder to find here in Australia. So therefore, it's become a little bit easier to get samples or decants of things that I'm interested in. But I've also kind of, there are still always going to be some things that I'm going to blind buy, and I guess I've kind of learnt now to trust a select few people on social media, and like have kind of understand their taste and the way they describe things. And I'm just going to run through the 4 blind buys I had for 2019 and tell you whether they were success or not. I'm going to start with my least successful one. I actually don't dislike this one, but I only bought it to fill out an order online to when I was buying something else, and I needed to get above a certain amount to get a discount or free shipping. I can't even remember. That is my scent of the day today. It's Clinique Happy. So this is a blind buy because it has been around for a long time. It has a lot of fans, and I don't know if this has been reformulated since it first came out, and it's pleasant enough to smell. I took this on my trip to Italy and wore it a few times, and like I said, it's very pleasant citrus scent, but it's kind of more like a fleeting smile than unadulterated happiness. This just has very poor performance for me, and I think from what I hear and read, it has for a lot of other people. If I'd had the opportunity to test this before, I probably would not have bought it, but really, considering, I guess that makes it 25% of my blind buys that I not regret, but I probably wouldn't buy this one. But the other 3 have been real successes. So earlier in the year, I bought Fidelis from Histoire de Parfum. This one was a blind buy, really, based on one post I saw on Instagram, I think, and the description in the post in conjunction with the note pyramid really got me excited for this, and it was kind of an impulsive buy, but I did think about it for a while, for at least a few weeks before I pulled the trigger. And then I figured, well, Histoire de Parfum have got a good track record with me. Like, I've liked most of the stuff that I have from them a lot. And so, I was minimizing my chances in that way, in that I got the description of the scent. I really liked the look of the note pyramid. Perfumer involved had done some good things, and it was a house that I kind of trusted to bring some quality. And I have no regrets about Fidelis. And these 3 that I'm going to mention, I haven't reviewed yet, so there are reviews coming. The next one I bought mid-year. This one was based on a couple of reviews from people I really trust, and they were kind of, because I trust these people and their views on this particular scent were pretty much gushing. I blind bought this But with this one, the note pyramid doesn't really prepare you for what you're going to smell. This one is Ganymede from Marc-Antoine Badouard. I'll do a review of this soon as well, but this has been pretty much the release of 2019 for me. I haven't tried a lot that have been released in 2019, but this one's certainly probably the best I've smelled. Final one, the most recent one, and I think it's actually my last full bottle purchase from this year, is from Guerlain. This one is Louis, and I bought this because I've known of its existence for a while, but you know, kind of it was sort of gone under the radar. And because the last 12 months I've really been getting into this house and exploring what they have in there, and I haven't even scratched the surface of what they've done historically, even vintage and all of that kind of stuff. I just know that, again, Guerlain very rarely release fails, and a couple of reviews, and i.e. reviewers, have spoken about this, and I also like it because this didn't get too hyped when it was first released, and slowly it's kind of built a bit of love over time. And I always find that that's a good sign, where something kind of creeps up under the radar and people start to recognize it by word of mouth and start to talk about how good it is. And I blind bought this one mainly because of that, and it was on sale where I found it, and it was hard to get a decant or sample of it. So those three, apart from Clinique Cappy, were very successful blind buys. I plan hopefully one day being able to say I'm not going to blind buy anything, but I think if you have your own kind of guidelines / rules about making a decision to blind buy something, I mean, obviously always, if you can get a sample first, but if you can't, at least have your own set of guidelines where you've had a bit of success with blind buys. I've been lucky actually that most of my blind buys over the years that I've been buying fragrance have worked out really well for me. So I've been lucky in that, but it doesn't mean that I will keep doing it. Mainly because I'm becoming a little bit fussier and more selective about the full bottles that I'm choosing to purchase, because I still, in theory, want to reduce the amount of bottles that I have. So also I want to mention that in relation to the way I chose, one of the things I looked at with the Guerlain, and how people had slowly, kept talking about it after a while. One red flag for me in terms of blind buying is when I see a review for the same fragrance within days by multiple influencers / YouTube reviewers, bloggers, whatever. I like to let, these days I like to let the hype die down on a fragrance and see if it still gets talked about months later on. So what I don't generally do these days is buy something shortly after it's released. Let me know how you go about blind buying, or even if you do it at all. I'd be interested to hear about some of your successes and failures, and my 4 blind buys for 2019 on the whole were a success. So I'll see you later.